I have a feeling that this is going to be a really long tutorial. Hey guys, right, so I'm going to start off with some Pritt Stick, and I'm just going to be putting that all over my eyebrows just to make sure we've got no hair peeking through. And then I'm going to be taking a white kohl eyeliner. I'm going to be mapping out parts of the face that we're going to be working on. So I'm going to create like an eye socket with the illusion that you have no eye, and also some gunk and slime like coming out of it. And then I'm going to be drawing a wound shape on the forehead, and then I'm going to be sort of going over my eyebrow just as like kind of like I normally would anyway, just because we're going to fill it in with another colour. And then I'm going to be mapping out parts of the face where I want the teeth to show through. So I'm just going to be drawing sort of 4 squares along the jawline and sort of making the edges a bit jagged, so it sort of gives the appearance that you have like ripped skin. And then I'm going to be taking a yellow face paint, and I'm just going to be placing that all over the areas that you haven't mapped out. So just keep all those areas nice and clear because we're going to be going in with different colours. So I'm just going to be building that up. I did go in a couple of times just to really make sure it was nice and opaque. Now I'm going to be taking this cobalt blue colour from the Urban Decay Electric palette, and I'm going to be putting that all over the eyebrows and really building up the colour. So I did go in and just fill in the lines with black eyeliner just to create more like a cartoon 3D effect. And at this point I really should have thought about my colour combinations because I kind of look like someone from The Simpsons. So now I'm going to be taking some pink face paint, and I'm just going to be filling in that wound shape that I put on the forehead. And then I took some pink from the Urban Decay Electric palette and just set that in place, and also added some sort of shading and definition just to also make it look more 3D. And then again I took some black eyeliner and just outlined the whole thing. So now moving on to the other eye, I'm going to be taking that green shade from the Urban Decay Electric palette, and I'm just going to be placing that all over the eyelid and up towards the eyebrow. And then with a fluffy brush I'm just going to be blending out the edges into that yellow face paint. And I did go in and put a little bit of black on the outer corner just to add a little bit more definition. So with some red face paint I then went in and painted the underneath of the eye, and I did have some sort of reddy orangey eyeshadow, and I just went in with that and just blended out the edges so it was more soft. But you can leave it if you wanted to. You could totally use your fingers just to blend it through if you didn't have any coloured eyeshadow. So with a eyeliner again I'm just going to create like sort of creases in the eye, and I did have a couple of natural creases anyway, so I just went in to find them a little bit further. But this is just going to give the illusion that it's kind of like, I don't know, like no skin, and it's like all rotting and disgusting basically. I did add a little bit of highlight to it as well, and again that's just going to create sort of more like a 3D effect. So I did go in with some black eyeliner and just created a wing, and I didn't do anything crazy, it was just because I was putting some false eyelashes on. And then I used a black eyeshadow, blended that out through the underneath of the eye, and also some black kohl pencil in the inner waterline too. And I was kind of all over the place with this tutorial, and I kind of went back in and started adding more highlights and more definition to like different places and stuff. So I kind of like will put as much as I can throughout this tutorial, but again it's all about shading and highlighting and just creating that kind of cartoon 3D effect. So now taking some black face paint, I went in and put that all over the other eye, and I noticed that it started creasing really badly, so I did go in with some black eyeshadow just to set it all in place. Now to create an illusion that we've got slime coming out of the eye, I'm going to be taking some green face paint, and I'm just going to be going over that template that we drew on earlier. And I did use a couple of green eyeshadows just to set that, and both of them were for the Urban Decay Electric palette. And with a lighter green I just pressed that up the top and the darker green at the bottom, and it's just going to give sort of more dimension to the whole look. Now with the black eyeliner again, I'm just going to be going in and adding more definition to the actual socket, and this is just going to create the illusion that you've got slime in the eye as well as coming out of the eye. So after that I did go in with a little bit of black eyeshadow and just shaded that in. So now with some black eyeliner again, and I feel like black eyeliner is probably your best friend throughout this tutorial, but with this I'm just going to be creating kind of like folds and creases in the slime and adding a little bit more like spots to make it look like more decayed and yeah, just gross basically. I also did go back in with the black eyeliner, and with everything that we've just did, I just created more like folds and creases in the skin, and again just added a little bit more highlight to them as well. Now to create the appearance that you have no nose, I'm just going to be taking a small detailed brush, and also with that black face paint I'm just going to be drawing kind of like the letter M on the nose and then filling it in with the black face paint. And I have a really oily nose, so if you have the same, make sure you set this with black face paint so it's just not going to go anywhere. So now with some black eyeshadow, I'm just going to be going in and mapping out the areas of the face where I wanted to add a little bit more contour. So I'm going to be making it sort of more cartoony, so not actually like a normal contour. And then I'm just going to be shading the edges and then going back in with a black eyeliner and outlining everything for more definition. So now moving on to the teeth, I'm going to be taking some white face paint and I'm going to start mapping out places where I want the teeth to be. And again with this look, you don't need the teeth to be completely symmetrical. It's kind of good when you sort of make them all different shapes and sizes, just to give the illusion that they're all sort of rotting and disgusting. But then after that I took some red face paint and I just went over the whole thing to create sort of like the illusion that you have gums in there as well. So I did go back in and repeat the process for the whole of the teeth, and I would have shown you that, but I would have been here for such a long time. But then I took the black eyeliner and I outlined everything that we just did. So basically I went back in and started creating creases in the skin and spots on the skin, highlighted it as well. Just be creative, and if you don't know where your creases are, if you just sort of like scrunch up your face or frown and things like that and just follow the natural creases in your face. Moving on to the neck, I'm going to be taking a black face paint and I'm just going to be mapping out the shape where I want the neck to be exposed. And then after I did that, I went back in with a white face paint and I drew a line down the centre of it, and this is where the bones are going to be. And I went back in with the black face paint and just covered up the rest of the area that was still yellow. And then after that I just sort of like created lines in between that white line to kind of look like the appearance of bones. And I really like the way this turned out, because when the black mixed with the white it kind of created a grey, which kind of gives the illusion that, I don't know, it's probably more 3D. So now I'm going to be taking some black face paint and I'm going to be drawing kind of like a cut on the shoulder with some slime coming out. So I'm just going to be taking that white kohl pencil again to just to outline it. And then I'm going to be taking some light blue face paint and I'm just going to be filling in that and also setting it with some blue eyeshadow as well. So I'm going to be taking that liquid liner again and I'm just going to be creating creases and dots along that slime. And at this point I was like, oh man, it actually looks like a dog poo. But I just went along with it anyway, just pretend it's slime. And then just took some white face paint and just highlighted the areas as well. I'm going to be taking some white eyeliner. I'm just going to be mapping out the area on my chest where I wanted to create like the exposed lung. So after that I then went in with some pink face paint and started filling in the colour of the lung, and then also set it in place with some pink eyeshadow afterwards. Now, to give the illusion that the lung is a little bit more lifelike, I took some black eyeliner and just created kind of like some lines and squiggles. I referenced like kind of like a cartoon lung online and just followed that, and then I also added some highlight in there as well. The finishing touches, I'm going to be taking the black eyeliner again, and I'm just going to be putting dots and lines and creases and things like that all over the skin and all over the face just to finish it off. And then after that I went in with some black contact lenses and a green wig, and we were pretty much done with the look. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to click that subscribe button and like my video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!